Hello everyone, I'm Pacific Casual Gamer, and welcome to the first in a three-part series of 3 videos I'm making for my channel being 5 years old. There's a lot to go over that I would like to show you guys and tell you guys about. I'm going to make this video extremely personal, and yeah, so what I would like to talk about first is my life before YouTube. And it was a very simple life. I was homeschooled, I played a ton of video games, and we moved. I did lots of different sports. Well, I tried a lot of different sports. I really only liked baseball, and then baseball interfered with martial arts, and I decided to stick with martial arts. So that was kind of my life before YouTube. I got introduced to it in 2011 because we bought an iPad, and then I found PewDiePie and Markiplier and Jacksepticeye. So all the gamers that kind of we know and love that were very foundational, I was there since 2011 watching them. And that's pretty much just kind of a brief history of my introduction to YouTube. So to start, I would like to talk about my very first video that I ever made, where I launched a spaceship into Kerbin Orbit in KSP. Man, this game, I wanted to start off with this game because I owned a PC, I was playing the game at the time, and I had just kind of figured out how to do stuff in the game effectively. And Markiplier played it, and I was really into Scott Manley in space. So that's why I started on this video. But if you look for this video on my channel, you're not going to find it, because this video is on a different channel named Creepy Nerves, which at the time, my name on Xbox was Nerves Gone Wild, and my sister's name was Creepy Dudette, and we had kind of like, well, we wanted a shared name on some other things, and I decided Creepy Nerves sounded better than Nerves Gone Wild, because I didn't know if I was going to stay in that clan, which is called Gone Wild, and I didn't even know if I wanted to be named Nerves. So, June 2nd, 2015 is when I started that channel, and, dude, I thought, I'll always say this, I thought I was going to get 100,000 subscribers in a year, and 6,000 in 6 months. Did not happen. But yeah, I played Craft the World and KSP and Civilization. That's what I did on that channel. And on that channel, I learned a lot about recording videos and, the basics of YouTube. And I learned early on not to have a fake personality. So I swapped to this channel because I had a really fake personality on Creepy Nerves. I was pissed off at myself for doing that. And then July 2nd, 2015 is when this channel got created, but it was not called Pacific the Casual Gamer. In fact, it wasn't even called I'm Pacific or Jared the Casual Gamer. It was called SodaMan148X. It is the best name ever, dude. I actually have that Xbox name. No one freaking steal that Xbox name off me, dude. That was my first ever public username on Xbox. And what I used to do was just upload KSP videos about like launching spaceships at Duna and stuff like that, exploring Kerbin. But I had this really cool idea because a YouTuber at the time, I have no idea who, would make these roadmap videos. Actually, no, I do remember. H1Z1 would publish roadmaps on the development of the game. And I was like, I want to make a roadmap about my goals every month for YouTube. And I actually made these roadmaps. I played Agario, if you guys remember that. And I actually got a couple viruses off that game. And that's what I used. That was like July 6, 2015 was when I started those. And I'd just be like, I want to get this many subs. I want to do this. And I want to do that. And then when I stopped caring about subs was when I stopped, uploading these roadmaps. So I started off, I did all sorts of different games. I did horror games. That was SCP Containment Breach. I was kind of copying Markiplier. I did The Escapists. I did kind of like the popular games that the Markiplier and Jacksepticeye were playing at the time. Except I eventually realized that you shouldn't spend a lot of money if you don't make a lot of money. I didn't make a lot of money at the time because I had just started working as a martial arts teacher, and so I couldn't pay for all these games, so that kind of sucked. And I did also start live streaming at this time. I live streamed Skyrim, but then I had a delay. I'm not gonna name who, but someone in my family got in a Segway accident and we had to take care of them. So I don't know if I'm gonna ever show this to my family, but you know who you are. That kind of sucked for them, and it was terrible. Don't ever break your leg, please. Anyone who's watching, don't ever do that. But then, after I came home, my buddy Connor and I were trying to get into phase, and this is where my name Pacific comes from. We wanted names, we left Gone Wild, and my name became I'm Pacific because we had this old globe that my grandparents owned. I looked at it and I wrote down my name, Phase Pacific, Soar Pacific, Red Pacific, all this Call of Duty quickscoping clans at the time in 2015, and I was like, Pacific sounds good. And so, bam, that's where I'm Pacific came from. And the first video where because I wanted to be an editor. That was my main goal, was to be a Call of Duty editor. And my first ever edit was cringe, but just 9 days later, November 10th, 2015, I uploaded a clip of my buddy knifing. It was a montage called Rest in Peace Black Ops 2 Knifing. I think that is one of the best videos I've ever made, not because of how good it is, but because how unskilled I was. I hadn't even been video editing for 6 months, and at least looking back on it now, I can see that I had video editing talent, and that's really kind of cool to think about. November 19th, 2015, I started doing cut commentaries. This is where you just talk over a video game. If you look up FaZe Jev, it's exactly like that. I tried copying him, and I kind of would try to hit clips because I wanted to be in a Call of Duty clan really, really bad. And it was okay. Okay, it was okay. I don't want to really say how good I did, but a lot of these quick-scoping kind of editing things are a foundational skill set to playing Rainbow Six Siege. And we'll get to that in a little bit. But I uploaded my first ever montage of Not Gaming on January 4th. It was titled The Best Year of My Life, a video of, kind of recalling the past 6 months and how much fun I had. And I discovered that creating YouTube videos is one of the best things for me and one of my most favorite things to do. And it sucks. I'm gonna be honest, the video that I made in terms of quality sucks, but I was so happy, man. I don't even know how many videos I uploaded back then, but you know what, that was pretty cool. But then, in the start of 2016, my buddy Connor bought this game called Rainbow Six Siege. He said, Jared, it's like cops and robbers, you need to buy this game and play this game. I bought it, and I didn't immediately fall in love with it. No, I played it a lot, though, and dude, that game was so fun. And it's just hard to think of that game way, way back in the day, man. Like, we had a lot of good memories on that. So, I buy Rainbow Six Siege, and I'm kind of playing it in the background because that's our console game, but I wanted to be a PC gamer. And I upload this video for a video editing class I had in college, because I did 2 years of college for high school. And it's called Kerbals in Orbit. And it was my first kind of cinematic video about Kerbals flying, and it was my first shot at a video with emotion behind it, other than the best video of my life, which was personal. This was one where you could show it to someone and I'd try to evoke emotion, and it really doesn't do that, but I tried. And after that, you can kind of see that right after that, I uploaded this video called The One Room Challenge. Okay? It's called, this map called Eisendrachen. And that was kind of my first real shot at a non-series custom thumbnail. I had custom thumbnails for series before, but that was really the first try. And I still used MS Paint, I believe, at the time. And that was my first real try at a custom thumbnail. And that's very important because I am insecure about thumbnails. I really am. I really don't. I just feel like my thumbnails are bad personally. And honestly, the YouTube data shows that I'm not bad. I have a very good conversion rate on them. But it's just something I've always been insecure about because I was that scientific kid that was supposed to be an aerospace engineer. That's what I was supposed to be in college. After the first semester or quarter, I realized I wasn't. But because I've always grown up without a talent for art, and really a way to foster that talent, I was kind of like teased as a kid, playfully, because my sister's very naturally talented in art, so it was kind of like, Jared's not the artist, he's the scientist, he's the math kid, and I'm just not. I don't know, I'm more of an EQ kind of social artist type person, but I can still understand math really well. Now, this is where it gets really, really dark for this video, but before I talk about that, I want to talk about two things that really were really important in early 2016, and that is I made my first ever Rainbow Six Siege video. And believe it or not, it's about the best terrorist hunt shotguns in Siege for recruits, the best loadouts, back when recruits had all the weapons, and it was in Rainbow Six Siege. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that Buck and Frost had not been released yet. Maybe they had been. I don't remember the specifics when they got released, but it was early in the game. And that was my first Rainbow Six Siege video. My first Rainbow Six Siege video was not a cut commentary. It was not some sort of gameplay live stream. It was a kind of a cut commentary tips forge of the two. And then after that, a guy named Fanboy Nate, who I met off of this shout out for this guy named Framework, I believe his name was. And what Framework did was he did a shout-out Sunday competition. You know the ones that give you a bunch of dead subs? Yeah, I participated in it and I won. More or less, that's what happened. And I got to like 50 subs at this point, and it felt amazing. No one at all from that shout-out even watches my videos anymore, so it doesn't matter. But then I played with Nate, and that was my first collab, was with Nate. And Nate had a bigger channel than me. He had 100 and something subs, and he played Smite. And I ended up dipping my toes in the Smite for a little bit. That was my first collab with another YouTuber, and he, early on, added to some design elements to my channel. One of the key things was that I made fun of Leafy is here, calling people tangerines, so he added tangerines into my profile picture and my background. So before I talk about, you know, the first year on YouTube was really amazing, but there's a very dark element to it. I called it my first year of YouTube June 2nd, and then I realized I wanted it to be July 2nd, right? So June 2nd, I made my first year of YouTube, and actually the thumbnails that I created started to really become better. You know, you could tell that I was starting to really learn Photoshop and understand how things need to play out, and I understand what exactly needs to go into a thumbnail. And I really started to develop custom thumbnails, and I really, you know, tried hard, I guess you could say, at thumbnails. But 2016 was a very difficult year early on, because what happened was my dad had his birthday, and one of my brothers that I never ever see came up. And at this point, I had become, my parents and, you know, my family that I lived with was religious Christian, and I was atheist, but I hadn't told anyone, and I feared their judgment. For some reason I did. I don't know why, but I did. And I didn't want to go to church because my brother, who barely comes up, I was going to miss out on a lunch with him, and I really wanted to be with him. And so I exploded on my mom. I was like, I'm not going to church because I don't believe in God. And it was, dude, I was a wreck. And that led, the fear of judgment after that, because I became very paranoid of my parents, because I was watching this guy named The Amazing Atheist, who, I mean, for what he is, he's a respectable YouTuber, but he's a very pessimistic guy, and that is content that I shouldn't have been watching at the time. And it just made me paranoid of that everybody hated me. It was really weird. So I thought everybody hated me. And it caused me to have suicidal thoughts and become super depressed. And I actually had to talk to a therapist. Because I had kind of talked to some people before, and then it kind of, stuff happened, but I had to really talk to a therapist to get through it. And it was terrible. There was a couple times that, we'll say, I tested some methods. I never went through with anything, obviously, but I tested how, like, a knife cut would feel. And I lied to people and said that I hurt myself on a tree. So that, I did that, and it's not a happy time in my life. And YouTube is part of the reason that I'm really kind of thankful. That in martial arts is why I'm, you know, I had stuff to do and to try to work forward and to build myself a future after high school, because at this point I also realized that high school doesn't work for me, and I was just doing it to appease my parents, man, because I was like, well, I guess I got to do it to make them happy, you know, instead of make myself happy. So that's kind of what happened in early 2016, mid 2016, I was getting better. And then sometime in early 2016, I actually made this montage called Flexibility. It was my Rainbow Six Siege montage. And it was when I switched from Call of Duty to really taking Rainbow Six seriously. And it had some good clips. And the editing in particular showed how far I'd come as a video editor. And I was really proud of that video. That's one of the videos I'm the most proud of. Now, in September to October, 3 very important videos got released. My first ever Oblivion video, where I got out of the sewers, got released. A lot of you are here from Oblivion. My first Battlefield 1 video when the campaign came out. A lot of that's important too, and I'll get to that in a sec. My first ever Civilization video got released, where I played Civ. So those 3 series that are kind of channel defining all started in mid to late 2016. Now, November 2016 was a very important time. I uploaded this video called I'm Back, which I went on a vacation to Disney World with my buddy, and they brought an Italian exchange student, and I think we kind of fell in love. I don't know. I'm not very good at seeing girl signs. But November 2016, and this room upstairs, because my brother broke his foot and he had to stay with us, and I had to move upstairs in my house, and it was this storage room. After I moved upstairs, I discovered this guy named Roberto Blake, and he was my intro to YouTube tips. And after I watched his videos, I made a video called Games for Gaming Channels with a Low Budget, and this was my first stab at the quote life advice, gaming advice, like advice videos. And it was my first time really giving advice to someone, and I started to develop an ego. I believe around this time. I don't know when it happened, but I definitely developed one, and I had an ego. After this was a really important step in my thumbnail design, actually, because what happened was I started to understand text. You could see the development. I started including my face in thumbnails, and I started to kind of build more coherent thumbnails, if you guys know what I mean. I still didn't understand a lot about making thumbnails, but there's a genuine step in the development of thumbnails. And then after that was a very, very big video for me. This is for all the people that say I'm a Civilization channel and an Oblivion channel. I started off my first big video that got 10,000 views, what I think of shortcut kits in Battlefield 1. It is currently, at the time of recording this, almost 32,000 views. This is the first video that blew up on my channel, really started generating me subscribers, and in fact generated me about $1 or $2 I don't remember how much, but I actually got, this was a lot of my first YouTube money, was this video. And I started pumping out videos heavily after this. I remember I posted this video, I pre-made a bunch of videos because we went on a trip to the mountains, and I had to keep like posting these videos, right? And it's a very important video. And after this video, I started this Resident Evil 7 playthrough, and I swapped how I included my face in thumbnails, and you can see the genuine improvement on my facial selection. You can see if I show the screenshot, this video called Uncut 13, I have that. I have some scared faces, a lot of the same faces, but overall, I would pick out better faces than just, this one looks good. You know, that's kind of like where that comes from. Now, I made this video after that called Is Rainbow Six Siege Dead? This is where ego kind of developed a little bit more. And I said, I don't think it's dead, but it's very stagnant, which was false. Rainbow Six Siege, I think at the time, was going through Operation Health, if I'm not mistaken. And it grew after Operation Health. And this is where I got some negative feedback on that video about my opinion about Rainbow Six Siege, and it was that. But I was still playing Rainbow Six Siege at the time. Then in early 2017, from watching Roberto Blake, I developed a format for shows, and I was live streaming heavily at the time and also playing a lot of different video games. So Monday was I would try out a new game or a new type of video. Tuesdays and Thursdays were called series days. So if I live streamed or I played through a dungeon in Oblivion, that's where that was. Wednesday was basically take whatever Roberto Blake says and make a video about it. So YouTube tips. Even though I didn't really have a big audience at the time, I'd make YouTube tips. And then Friday, I had this thing called The Friday Show, where I uploaded like heavily, like very well thought out, potentially scripted thoughts videos. Like, you know, the videos that I post now where I talk about, you know, Maverick as a 5-stack versus solo queue, and I talk about my commentary on video games, is basically that. And then Saturday and Sunday were stream days where I would just post a live stream. And that's what I did for a while. And at some point, by the way, I got a job at Applebee's and then I quit it. Like, it was very stressful. I hated working at Applebee's. And my parents were fully supporting me at this time, which led to a lot of development in understanding how YouTube content works. A lot of it was my parents just financially supporting me and giving me the time to understand how to deal with laziness, how to deal with burnout, how to deal with creating multiple videos a day. Like, all of those skills were developed in 2017, in 2018 and 2019, because they were paying for my living expenses, which was pretty cool from them. I started my first business, which led to nothing. I tried a video editing business on Upwork and got nowhere. And after this, I started real quick after 2017. I basically went cryptocurrency business, and then I found Steam and tried a Steam business, and I tried all these different types of eBay, all sorts of businesses. That's in the background, just so you guys know. But we don't want to talk about the businesses. So sometime in the middle of July, I did a consulting call with Roberto Blake. I'd been paying to be part of his creative club, which is actually how I created a Facebook account. And then I kind of did a personalized call with him, and we went over things that I needed to do to kind of improve my YouTube channel, right? And he told me about series and thumbnails and all sorts of things. And one of the things he came up with was, he said, dude, you're calling yourself a casual gamer. Why don't you name yourself Pacific the Casual Gamer? You know, and he gave me a bunch of, you know, reasons why you do that, because no one else, you know, everyone has to be the best. Not everyone, you know, everyone forgets about the casuals. And that is where the name Pacific the Casual Gamer comes from. Basically, I paid a consultant and they came up with that name. And that it's that's where it comes from. And then some of the later on thumbnail designs that I finally discovered and figured out were based on the advice that he gave me in that consulting call. So after I started my first business in 2017 and quit, I graduated June 19th, 2017. I still remember that day to this day. It was one of the happiest days of my life because I hate school. The format of school, well, it was a two-parter. The format of school, I was still working at Applebee's, by the way, then I quit after I graduated. But the format of school messed with me and was a kind of a double negative, where I did it to please my parents. That was it. Terrible idea. And I did it to, it was there and I felt like I had to do it and I didn't learn from it. And it really set me back. I wish, if there's a regret I have, which is taking school too serious. If I didn't take school too serious, I would be a better video editor. At that time, a better martial arts teacher than I would be today. And I decided to listen to my parents, which at that time, I developed so much as an adult. When that kind of suicidal thoughts and depression period happened, I developed a lot of my political opinions too, and all my opinions. And at that point, no one knew who I was, you know, and I didn't understand that since no one knows who I am, whether it's, you know, no one knows who I am. So why am I taking, you know, what I should do with my life? If my mom would tell me, hey, you should be this, or my dad or someone else tell me you should be this with your life, why would I take it serious if they don't understand me? They also don't know that they don't understand me. And that we will talk a lot more about in the next video. But after graduation, in July of 2017, I started playing Age of Empires 3, which was the next big game on my channel. Actually, that is the best live streams I've ever done in terms of viewer count. The toxicity of the community was too much for me to handle. There was stream sniping, and I quit because the community is just too toxic. At least the people I attracted. But I got 60 viewers at one point for an Age of Empires 3 stream. It was crazy. And then there was a video that changed everything, but not immediately. July 17th, 2017. I uploaded a video that a lot of you have watched, titled How to Make a Battle Mage in Oblivion. That was my first Oblivion build tutorial. I didn't do any sort of things with that after that. August came around and I didn't make any tutorial videos, but this challenge called Veda, called Vlog Every Day in August, happened. And I made videos that weren't specifically related to a specific video game, but I made vlogs. I tried to vlog outside in public, didn't go so well. And it was just kind of a thing. I tried to live stream and upload a vlog and upload a normal YouTube video, but it was just kind of too much. I don't know. But it took all the way until September 30th, 2017 to upload my next Oblivion build, which was the Boxer. And I really started to look, and I'm like, I need to make these Oblivion builds, right? And I kind of made that, and I kind of didn't want to make another one, but, you know, I was like, we'll see. I really don't want to make Oblivion builds. I started off not wanting to make Oblivion builds, by the way, guys. After that, I uploaded one of my only 2 real video, or 3 video editing videos. Editing and using blurs for FPS montages, October 15th, 2017. Actually, this is like the only gameplay of Halo 4 multiplayer on my channel. I did alright, but it was just the first video editing tutorial I did. I don't really want to make those. Now, after this video came out, you can see by the screenshot I'm going to show you, I developed a foundation, and I decided to take YouTube thumbnails to the next level, starting with that video, How to Make a Fencer in Oblivion, because I realized my thumbnails lacked personality. They really didn't have a lot of personality in them, and you could see after that fencer, if you go back on my channel, you look at the Fencer Oblivion build video, all the thumbnails after that, you can tell that I put a lot more effort into them versus the previous one. So How to Make a Fencer in Oblivion was my first shot at making a thumbnail with personality, and then you could see, you know, is Battlefield 1's double barrel shotgun good? Is the Self-Slaughter 1907 even useful? But you can see I tried to use all my Photoshop knowledge, which was very limited at the time, and my very much lack of graphic design knowledge. And I tried, and I really tried hard to make good YouTube thumbnails. And they got better overall. But this is the kind of last thumbnail update I'll show you guys. But it's a foundation of the thumbnail style that I use today. Very important, by the way. After that, I just kind of made shooter game videos, and I did end up making Oblivion videos too, and it kind of went from shooter video games to heavy Oblivion builds. We'll get to that in a little bit. Now, there's a very important video I made called Vlog of a Small YouTuber. So in November 28th, 2017, I started a vlog called Vlog of a Small YouTuber, and what it was I was going to make vlogs because at this point I saw my channel had potential, and I knew I had the ability to grow a channel to sustain me. Like I was going to be, I could be a big YouTuber. I know I can be a big YouTuber. And I was like, it's going to be called VSY, Vlog of a Small YouTuber. Then it's going to be VMY, Vlog of a Medium YouTuber. And the first video I made was telling you guys about the struggle of my thumbnails, and this led to my first freelance work. A guy named Ren's Reviews hired me to make a couple thumbnails, and that was really cool. In fact, I got a little bit of an ego when it comes to a little bit where one of his top viewed videos on his channel, it's the one about like the Kingsman 2 video. I made that thumbnail. I'm like, I made that thumbnail. And he got a bunch of views. I'm proud of that thumbnail. So, and this vlog stopped, but this was really my first forte into vlogs that were more personal, because I never talked about my struggle. And this was a big moment for me, getting personal with YouTube videos. I'd never really done that before. So after that, I just kind of like did my thing and made some videos. It was really normal up to August 7th, 2018. Basically, early 2018 was like just normal YouTube videos. I live streamed KSP for a while, you know, just bounced back and forth. But August 7th, 2018, I started something called The Casual Vlog. At some point, I changed my name to Pacific the Casual Gamer. I don't know when I did that, but I did that. And I'm Pacific. I don't remember when I changed my name. But August 7th, 2018, I started a vlog called The Casual Vlog. This was me documenting. So I watched a lot of Gary Vaynerchuk at this point in my life. And I actually have a problem of putting his values on a pedestal versus my own values. And I still have to deal with it right now. But this vlog was me documenting, like, what's going on in my life. You know, my first shot at eBay selling. You know, my video editing problems. And just I'd vlog throughout the day and just kind of do stuff. It didn't last very long, but there's a very, 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 very important video to me in this video series. It's episode number 6, uploaded August 13th. I rode the ferry alone. What does this video mean? Well, all throughout my life, I have been one of the most nervous drivers in my life. In fact, where I live, I have never, at this point, never driven out of my own town, like the cluster of towns. It's been, I think, a year or two since I started driving alone at this point. And what happened was my brother invited me to his house. And the only way to get there was to drive alone. And I freaking did it. Now let me tell you guys about this. I drove to his house alone without telling my parents. Because at that point, they were always scared of me driving. I was still like kind of that homeschool baby, you know. And my mom was like, oh my gosh, she did it. You know, she knows I was so nervous. I'm bad with directions. The drive home, my phone was at about 5% battery and I kept missing the highway turn to the ferry. And I had to make a choice of, can I maybe get home by driving the highway or can I take the boat? And I took the boat. My phone was at 2%. And I didn't know how to get home, but I followed my gut and I made it home without a phone and GPS. I'm really bad with directions, guys. I'm terrible with them. I get lost in Minecraft. So that was a really important moment for me in my life. The next one, I kind of went really heavy into Oblivion builds. September 11th, 2018, the best race in Oblivion for noobs. This is when I realized that everyone wanted to watch Oblivion videos. And I went heavy into Oblivion videos. In fact, I went so heavy into Oblivion videos that in the next video, I'll talk about it. I got burned out on Oblivion videos. I really did. And it sucked because at some point I started making videos and I didn't want to make Oblivion videos. And I didn't have to. But I decided to myself that I had to in 2018. So that kind of sucked. Then a very important video on my channel got made called Why Civilization 6 is Better Than Civilization 5. 4 days after, September 15th, 2016. This is the first Civilization video that I made that's blown up. And a lot of people don't like it because I said Civ 6 is better than Civ 5 because they tried to experiment. I still kind of try to hold that position today, but I more believe that you can't compare the games. But that showed me that I could make Civilization videos along with Oblivion videos and still kind of reach success. And I would upload, after this, I would upload Skyrim, I would upload Civ, and I would upload Oblivion. And that didn't happen until later, like early 2019. But I knew that Skyrim would get less views and Oblivion would get more views and Civ would make, you know, less views, but I would do it, god damn it. That's what I would do. A very important video again to my Siege career. Why I only play ranked Siege with one friend, October 4th, 2016. This is my first video on like, hey, I take this game serious. If you want to bullshit, I don't want to play with you. That's pretty much what I said, was like, yo, I only play with this guy because I trust him. You know, and I mean, that was that video. At some point, I don't have this in my script notes, but I want to say this. I made a very good thumbnail for an entire series on Skyrim about every single skill and my opinion on it in Skyrim. That was important for my thumbnails because I had also started a series, May 15th, 2019, making thumbnails live, which is really fun to do. I don't do it a lot anymore. This is some of the most fun live streams I've ever done because it shows you guys my creative process. And you guys, when I stream this, a lot of y'all give me really, really good ideas on thumbnails, and we've made some really good thumbnails together. And it got me back into drawing. Now, I don't draw in my free time, but I'm not afraid to draw anymore. I just still draw stick figures. But it made me not afraid to do art anymore. I still had that kind of... My sister at that time was like kind of doing all this art stuff because she did the same thing as me with college. And I grew really insecure, and you guys helped me not be insecure about most of my art. I'm still insecure about thumbnails, I'll be honest, but if I draw a shitty picture, I don't care. But a lot of my insecurities about drawing are gone because you guys helped me make thumbnails, which is really cool. So before the channel turned 4 years old, there were a couple of really important dates that happened. The first one was sometime in the fall of 2018. My now girlfriend invited me to a ramen shop, and her friend, who was I was gonna be like the third wheel, didn't show up, and then I fell in love with her. And it wasn't until 6 months later where I finally saw the signs and was like, you know, I love you, you know? That's what happened. I remember that night I was playing Stellaris with my buddy Austin, and it was a part in the game where it was really slow, and I think I'd like received a text the day before, and she called me her favorite human, and I finally got it after all of that time, guys. Like, imagine 6 months of chasing someone just to say that, and they finally get it. And Austin really hyped me up, and I was like, dude, I'm gonna say it to her. I'm gonna say it. And then I sent the message to her, and she said it back, and yeah, we started, we were together. And before then, like right before then, we'd worked on a video editing project for the martial arts school together, which we did, but then we didn't do another one. And I had started a content plan because I wanted to take YouTube more serious than I ever had before. And I just kind of didn't pay attention to her signs. And then that was pretty much the whole beginning, until I posted the 4th birthday video for the channel. I mean, that was pretty much just the first half of 2019. July 3rd, 2019, at my girlfriend's house, I posted that the channel is 4 years old. Now I can watch this video, and it's really haunting to watch this video because I know what I was going through at the time, and I'll tell you guys in the next video. It's this year on YouTube, July 2nd, 2020 to July 2nd, 2019. Has been the most fulfilling, crazy, depressing, happiest year of my life. Guys, that is going to be it for this video of part 1 of the 3-part video series about my channel's birthday. I really thank everybody for watching. I almost cried going through all these old videos, man. It's so cool. I really appreciate all that's happened, not just on YouTube, but all that's happened throughout my entire life. I really appreciate all the people that have been involved in my life, whether I like you or I don't like you. And it's made me who I am. Ultimately, it's me who's made me who I am. But that involves other people. And I'm really glad going through this. I'm really grateful that I have this YouTube channel to view myself, because at some point my kids and grandkids and great-grandkids, and I'm probably gonna live to like 200, so great-great-great-great-grandkids are gonna see this, and they're gonna see into my life. And I wish I had this for my mom, my dad, my grandparents, my great-grandparents. I wish I had this too, because I think being able to look at where I've come from really motivates me to continue going on forward. So, yeah, guys. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate you. Guys, that's it. That's all I gotta say for this one. I'm Pacific Casual Gamer, and I will see you guys in the next video.